All right, Shane Burgman, welcome to the show. Nice to have you, brother. And we're drinking some whiskey today. You're going to pick the first one.
I'm going to pick the first one. But just so we're clear, I'm the first real estate agent that is not part of Denovo.
The first outsider, yes.
I love it.
What an honor and a disgrace at the same time.
Definitely one of those. It's an honor on my part, also a disgrace.
I'm honored to have you, man. It's good to sit down and talk some you know.
Yeah, I just really hope no one else sees this.
Yeah, I hope so too.
It'd be
we'll
embarrassing
get 2 views.
I'm associated with you.
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah, what do we got?
Let's do Jefferson's Reserve because we were talking about that, and that was a gift. So whoever gave
a gift.
Garrett that bottle, he hasn't tried it.
Thanks, brother.
Until now.
He gave me like 10 bottles, so I'm working.
Who?
Rudy.
10 bottles?
Yeah, Flavia's husband.
Okay.
How much? You tell me when.
That's enough.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's all right. I mean,
right. We'll sip.
It's a couple fingers.
Yeah, that was.
Have you guys ever known how they measure?
All right. You're a big guy.
It's a couple fingers.
You know.
I mean,
so you're just a large framed.
Yeah.
You know, great shape, obviously.
For sure, obviously.
But, yeah. All right, so we're gonna start this off with some jokes.
Yeah.
Of which, cheers.
Which we have not reviewed.
Well, which neither one of us have seen. So, Shane, what's the difference between a pickpocket and a peeping Tom?
I don't know.
One snatches your watch and the other watches your snatch.
My turn? Did you get that joke?
I didn't. I don't think I broke on that one.
All right. Oh, Garrett, this is a great one.
Okay.
Did you hear about the guy dipping his balls in glitter? Pretty nuts. Wow. Good face. I almost it's hard to restrain that. I started shaking.
Would you rather sit through a recruiting call or attend an open house?
I'd rather try to breathe water.
Does that count if the joke was over?
Okay. I'm trying to make sure that this makes sense.
I mean, if it based on...
I think it's missing a word. I'm just trying to figure out what word it's missing. Okay, I got it. What did the sign say on the out-of-business brothel? Beat it. We're closed.
Why did I laugh at that?
You're just thinking about beating it, I feel like. Which I don't think you do at a brothel. You don't beat it. Someone else does, right?
Someone else beats it.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, gross.
You can thank Frankie for half of those.
Thanks, Frankie.
Thanks, Frankie.
Terrible fucking jokes.
Awful. Yeah, you should stick with whatever you do at Title.
Well,
yeah.
Bothering people in their office.
It's bothering me, too. Stop direct messaging me on Instagram telling me to keep my butt off the bench. It's like, Ollie, to keep your ass down.
Oh
These were good jokes, so I think that was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
That was fun.
That was good.
We should do that again.
Yeah. So, we'll segue into this thing, man.
All right.
So, let's talk about real estate stuff, life stuff. Give me a day in the life of the one and only Shane Burgman. What's your daily schedule, routines? Walk me through it.
Yeah. And I think, you and I are pretty dialed in on that. I know we've had these talks before.
Yeah.
But getting up early. So I guess I'll provide more context to it. So I have 2 children, 3 and 1. So
2 little redheads.
I wish they're not actually. I wish they're not. They're not redheads.
How did you get that lucky?
I'm not sure. There's just some
you
genetic questions potentially that we should maybe delve into. But they kind of look like me, I think. But no. So I think getting up early and getting my work done, as far as anything physical, that it has to be during that time.
Yeah, you do all your workouts in the morning.
And you're the opposite. So my normal day, and this isn't just weekdays. It's weekdays and weekends. So I'm up between 5 and 5:15.
Do you do the same? Do you do it at the same time on Saturday and Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because, I mean, it's you got to think about like the sliver, and I've like, excuse me, I've like framed it in my mind like
The whiskey's good.
it's really
by the
good,
way.
dude.
Yeah.
It's a little airy.
Yeah.
I
I got
a sandwich I
that
had down
too.
the road
Yeah.
earlier. I don't know.
We had sandwiches too.
Did you?
Yeah.
What sandwich did you get?
The turkey.
Get the out of here. I
Yeah.
got with the sharp cheddar and the
Yeah,
onions and the
yeah,
Thousand
yeah.
Islands.
Mhm.
Did you get fries? Truffle fries?
No, I didn't.
I did.
I haven't had the truffle fries yet. That's a new
just had
addition.
them. I just had them today.
Yeah.
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 They're pretty good.
I like that place.
I feel like the truffle. It's growing on me, dude.
You were a shit talker.
I was a talker, but I've been there now 4 times. Like the
It's
first time, I
hard
was
for
like,
us too.
I'm never
it's
going
like,
back, and now I'm
if you
back.
forget your lunch here, it's like
No,
you
it's the
walk across
closest
the
thing.
street.
So get up early. I like to drink a shit ton of water when I first wake up. So there's get up between 5:15. The first thing I do, obviously,
You get up with an alarm.
yes,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not naturally like a morning
I
person.
could never come anywhere close without an alarm.
No, and there are people that like the circadian
Yeah,
rhythm.
they're, like, on
I'm
time,
Not
boom.
fucking not like
Yeah,
not even
yeah.
in the military. Like was I ever
Yeah.
up early? But I get up early purposely because everyone else is asleep and I can actually get done. So 5:15, I'm up. Do the normals like brush your teeth, whatever. But then I go into the kitchen and I pound water. I'm almost drinking at that point probably 40 to 50 ounces of water, which does a couple things. One, it helps me rehydrate my body, but also forces me to so I like to flush out.
Get the flush out.
Get the flush
right
out. I think it's incredibly important to the rest of my day. So do that.
If that poop doesn't hit till later. I mean,
It doesn't hit
day's
till
all
later. You're
screwed.
dude.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
even worse like after like a post shower poop.
Oh god.
Your days are
You're
off.
just- you're
Go
ruined.
back to bed, dude.
Yeah,
Start
go
over.
back to bed.
Go back to bed. Just cancel that one. So I try to like get in that sequence, and I'm fairly regular at that point. And so also during that time, something that I'm cognizant of is not using my phone. So I try to make like the first 30 to 60 minutes of my morning with no phone. I see it when I wake up, but then I put it away. And then I go into the kitchen, drink my water, my athletic greens, use the bathroom. I start reading a book at that point, and then I go back. And then
So you read every morning?
I do read every morning.
Physical book.
I'm a paperback guy. I don't even like a hardcover. I feel like I just don't like the hardcovers.
I don't like hardcovers,
No, I don't.
but I'm a lot more audio and digital.
I don't like audiobooks.
Yeah.
I like the paper because like when I read the book, the physical nature of flipping the page.
Yeah.
And then my bookmark is a pen, so like
Yeah.
I keep the pen in there, and if I'm reading, if there's something I'm like, oh, that's
Takes
really
a
interesting,
note,
I either
yeah.
circle it, underline it,
Mhm.
I dog ear the page, or I annotate notes on the margin. So all my books are like all written up, and it's
Yeah.
always like ideas where I'm like, oh, this sounds great at the time, and maybe I implement it then, hopefully.
Mhm.
But if not, when I go back next year and read that book, I'm like, where was my mind at during this time?
Mhm.
And it's like, shit, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I
Yeah,
start
yeah.
that? So I think it's like a really important thing.
Good to be able to review it.
I never read really before real estate,
Yeah.
so it's
I
still
didn't either.
like fairly new. It's kind of weird how
Yeah.
like what like now I'm like, how did I not read? Like what a
Yeah,
scrub!
yeah, yeah.
Like what a loser!
Yeah. You're still a loser, bro. It's
Still a
okay.
loser right now. Just have a bunch of books now.
Now you just have a bunch of shit on your
Yeah,
shelf.
a bunch of shitty pens. And then I once I get done through that, before I go out and train, I like to do 15 to 20 minutes of like a yoga stretching routine with meditation. So I think that's really important to kind of getting like, I like the blood flow aspect of it. It's probably not the best stretching technique prior to going on a run or a cycle
Yeah.
or a lift, but I find it therapeutic. And then I also like I have a lot of back issues, and it helps me kind of open up my hips a little bit. And then I think the best part after that is the 5 minutes of meditation that I do after that. So I do breathing exercises, and then something I've done for a very long time. I kind of like break it down in the sequences. I talk about things that I'm grateful for, and I always start with my wife. Secondary is always my children. It's my family, my house.
You
like, the
writing them
people.
down, or you're?
It's in here.
In here.
Like it's like the same kind of sequence. I'm just reminding myself, like
Yeah.
I'm super grateful for my amazing and beautiful wife and successful, and she like is the foundation and the glue to our family. And then once I get through
kind of look like you.
the children that almost look like me, that don't have red hair, that like question it every but like the things that like genuinely I am grateful for, and I like even talk about the clients that trust me for the real estate. I talk about the friends that are close to my life. I talk about like the opportunities that Dwayne and Kirk have given me. Like all these things, like genuinely am grateful for, and it's just a good reminder.
Yeah.
And then I get into commitments, and the commitments are they fall along the same line. So my first two It's always my wife. Like, I'm committed to my wife and making sure that she laughs or smiles at least once a day from me, that I
like
force. Make sure that she knows like how much I love her, and I do, like, I love to. I'm a physical touch, like that's my love language. But like I want to make sure that like I hug her and kiss her and like let her know how much I appreciate her. I'm committed to being the best father I can with my kids and also being present. So it's different. You see parents like with their kids and they're not like they're there, but they're not present because they're distracted on their phone. And trust me, like that's me sometimes. But when I'm with them, even if it's 5 minutes, like
real estate.
it's constantly. It's like you always have those distractions. So have to remind myself, ground myself. I'm committed to being the best father I can and present with my kids. And then committed to goals, motivated, discipline, all these other things. And then I do breathing, and then I just sit there, and then I start really my day. That normally takes, this is like the longest answer ever.
It's all right.
Normally that takes me, once I start the train, it's almost 45 minutes before I even go into my garage and get prepared for whatever the day may be as far as a training aspect. So broken up into whatever day it is, I'm either going on a run, a bike, doing a brick, or I'm lifting. It's going to be one of those, and then I'll pepper in a swim every so often.
I had to ask you about your breathing exercises.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do? Like, do you have any specific breathing routine?
So
I just started doing Wim Hofs.
Yeah, so for a year I followed that YouTube video he has on there where I think it's like 14 minutes long, the whole sequence of it. Yeah. So I did that for a year straight to the point where I memorized it. Yeah. So in that breathing, he actually goes through really it's like 3 sets, right? 30 reps, and then you hold it for 60, then 90. It just was an incredibly long time to my already like pretty elaborate morning routine. Yeah. So I've kind of like shortened it up to really it's one session. It's 30 reps like in and out. Yeah. But I can still like hear the voice in my head of like the cadence of like how long the inhale versus exhale, and then I still do the breath hold. And then once I hit a minute or 90 seconds, or if I can push 2 minutes, then you do the inhale, hold for 15 more seconds. Yeah. And that's when I can really like. Yeah. I don't know. That's I think awesome because you can dial in like even this morning. I was telling you about how like I could feel my rib hurting. Like after I do that inhale, I'm almost like trying to like have my body heal itself. I can almost like direct airflow and healing powers. It's super strange, but
it is really. I've liked it. I've been doing it. I feel a lot more relaxed afterwards.
It's amazing too. So like with your watch, you can like track your heart rate. And then when you tell people like you're holding your breath, like I think naturally you think your heart rate's gonna elevate. Yeah. But then you look at it, and the lowest heart rate that now it's a game. I'm like, how low can I get my heart? Like I've got my rate to like 38. Yeah. Which is just like
you're like in my life.
That's awesome. So, but what it does is it forces you to like think about it. So like when you're doing that breath work and you're holding your breath, naturally you want to panic and you want to say, I need air.
The first few times that I did it, I was wildly uncomfortable because I hadn't even like you know when you're a kid, like you're like kind of holding your breath with your friends and all the time. But like I hadn't done that in forever. So at first I was like uncomfortable and my heart would race. Yeah. And then you get totally used to it and you're like, oh, and then you feel good afterwards.
You're comfortable. And then, but you also can like almost like it's like a muscle. So you can train your heart to like slow down. And I've been able to take that same skill.
Did you ever do the cold showers and stuff?
I just ordered an ice bath.
Did you?
An ice plunge actually. I ordered two separate ones.
Made one.
Out of a freezer?
No, I essentially copied I got a tub from the Tractor Supply store, and then I got a chiller, like the actual machine. Yeah. And so it's just, I'm going to hook, I haven't done it yet, I just got the tub over the weekend, but I'm going to hook the thing up just like an ice plunge.
So I was reading about...
Which ones did you buy, the ice plunge?
I actually bought the ice plunge, and then there's another one called Renew Therapy. Yeah. So I ordered the Renew Therapy one because like aesthetically it looks awesome. It's a different, and there's like a sitting location where like I could sit there. It's a 14-week lead time, and so I bought it, and it was pretty expensive.
Those ones
that one was like $11,000.
Yeah, dude.
And I was like amped up about it, and then I'm like, 14 weeks, like. Now I don't really see so I actually sent an email to the company and I told them I'm just like anyway you could expedite it. They said no. They're really nice on customer service. But then I ordered the ice plunge and the ice plunge was only 7 weeks out.
I think the ice plunge
or the cold plunge whatever
looks better.
I don't like that look because the cold plunge looks like a tub. Where the Renew one is it's metal on the bottom, so I got black metal and then I ended up getting California redwood stain on it and just looks sexy because it's gonna live outside for me. Yeah. On my pool deck area.
I'll show you mine when I'm done.
No, I know it looks like it's a trough.
It's a trough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's super ghetto.
You can paint it though if you want,
But the cost on that is probably less than $1,000 or whatever the.
So I got an ozonator, the ice machine,
The chiller.
chiller. I think everything's like $1,300.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it stays outside, so if it breaks, like you can get another galvanized tub for like $100.
Yeah. Those were $150 from the Tractor
No,
Supply
it's definitely
store.
the way to go.
I went back and forth for a while. I was like, I'm just gonna pay the money, and then I'm like, I'll try this first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll see how it goes. I'll let you know.
Let me know, man.
You let me know how yours
I'll
goes.
let you know. I should have it in now 6 weeks.
Yeah. Anyways.
So get the training.
Back to your day is almost started.
It's almost started. So my goal is to be home by 7:30, like an a.m. Right. So when my kids should be waking up. When I'm on my bike and runs, it's unlikely that I'm going to be there when the kids wake up. So normally it's my wife doing that. But like mentally, I don't want to always have her have the burden of being the one waking the kids up. So 2-3 days out of the week, I will go work out in the garage, bring the baby monitors with me, and then when they start stirring, I'll go up. But 7:30, I want to be back. I jump in my pool now. Eventually, it'll be the cold plunge, and then ready to go. And I am in the house, and then we're doing breakfast and everything. 8 o'clock, my wife leaves for work, nanny shows up, and then that's when I really get prepared for the day. I normally am sitting down at my desk by 9. I block off 9 to 11 as it's on my calendar for prospecting.
Yeah.
Which is whatever form of prospecting you're comfortable. For me, it's just a lot of follow-up. It's a lot of video. It's a lot of texting. It's, data stuff. It's also a portion of the time where I dedicate to doing like high-level brain work. So if there's a valuation or something I need to hammer out, it happens during that window.
Your brain is
it's the prime
beginning of the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for me, it's beginning. Like when if there's anything like high level I need to work on,
The
it's
hardest task.
going to be in the morning.
Yeah.
And then normally,
are you working on your videos every day?
No. So
'Cause you've been cranking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get into that a little bit, but basically I'll prospect
We'll finish
till
your day
11.
first.
It never ends. Here's a spoiler. It's still going to continue.
We'll be here tomorrow talking about his routine.
I will summarize it as quickly as I can. And then the day, normally I try to do a lunch. I feel like that's critical to just staying alive. Mm-hmm. And then 90% of the time, all of my appointments are going to be at 1, 3, or 5. So I generally never take an appointment in the morning. So that's when I do listing appointments.
1, 3, and 5.
Yeah. And it's going to be always that sequence. So if I'm doing a listing appointment, it's always going to be at 1 or 3. I try to be home by 5 o'clock every day. Yeah. And I'm home at 5 o'clock 90% of the time. Mm-hmm. There's maybe one day in the week where I have to text my wife and say I'm running a little late. But those are my appointments in the afternoon. In the morning, it's all brain energy stuff. And then I'm home by 5 most of the time, hang out with the kids. They go to bed at 7:30. We start the routine. And then by 8:30, they're asleep. My wife and I get a little time to hang out together. Yeah. And then... we cook dinner. We cook dinner a lot. This was like a funny thing where even yesterday it happened. Where we're at a house and it was this open concept, and I was like, well, the dining table could go here, and the lady was like, who even has a dining room anymore? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I do. I love that. When we built our house, like we built a house that has a dining room. Yeah. Because like I value that time of like sitting at the table, and we have dinner in that room 5 days a week. Yeah. And most of those nights we're cooking. We order in maybe once or twice, but we're always eating there. And that's something that, like, I don't know if it was a tradition of, like, just the way I grew up or the way I wanted my family
to have. Your quality time.
It is, man. And I think that'll probably scale until my kids just don't want to be around me anymore, which is probably next year.
Yeah, a couple more years.
So, but yeah, then it basically repeats. And
how much are you, after you get home at 5, how much does work get in the way from 5 to the end of the day? How much are you working?
Not that much. I mean, I'm structured enough now to where like my assistant takes on a lot. My sales partners help out with a lot of the things, but I'm a guy that has the philosophy that if something comes in like that late at time, normally it's not going to be that urgent, and it can wait until the morning. Because like how many times have you gotten a 911 text or call at, let's call it 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and then maybe you didn't see it come in or you didn't get back to it, and 15 minutes later they said I figured out or I got it. Like, why? Like that happens all the time. So if it's that urgent, it's very rare that something is so urgent it has to be attended to at that point. Because in reality, if there's an issue at that hour, no one else is going to be able to take care of it. So it's going to wait till the morning anyway.
Can't do anything about it.
And
90% of the time.
No, so that's my philosophy
It's
on
important
that.
for people to learn that because most people don't think that's a thing.
No, well, yeah, and I know you're really
Yeah.
good about like
Yeah.
having the structure and the. I mean, I'm sure running a brokerage is a lot different, but I know you're disciplined enough to have your boundaries in your life,
Yeah.
and then also like you will tell. I know you would tell people like I actually have a fucking life outside of real estate,
Yeah.
and it's not all I
It's
do.
not
Like
that-
I do,
yeah.
it's a lot,
Yeah.
but I actually like
Yeah.
have other enjoys in life.
I think it makes you so much better at when you have boundaries. It makes you so much better at the time when you are working. That, like everyone notices, like you're just doing work better during the right times. That they respect the outside of those work hours.
And something that like it came out during one of like I don't know, it was a video or something we did earlier this year, or like a talk I was doing, but something like a phrase that I've really grabbed onto and trying to coin is like, if you don't respect your own time, how do you expect anyone else to?
Right.
Like no one will.
Exactly.
If you don't have control of your own time and respect it, like no one else is going to. So you have to be the one to respect your boundaries.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to take your call at 9 o'clock at night. Like, no, like you can't call me at 6 in the morning. You can call me, I'm not going to answer.
Right.
And it's
right.
every system in my real estate career has only enhanced on that. And it's the same like when I hired my assistant. Like she said, well, what is my job? Well, your primary job is to protect my time.
Yeah.
And that was the first thing she needed to understand. Like she's the protector of my time.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. Like
That's-
now we can get into the nitty gritty of like her day to day. But ultimately, her job is to protect my time.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Same reason, like my voicemail. We just did a video on that. Like I had people commenting and reading back, like, "Well, that's rude. That's mean." What's mean if you like read it? My voicemail says, "I'm either with a client, I'm with my family, or I screened your call."
Screened your call.
You can leave me a voicemail, but you should text. And like people think about that, and I feel like everyone should have some sort of version of that because it lets people know like how you prefer to communicate, what you value in life. And sure, there's people that hear that and they're like, no, I don't want to work with that guy. Good. Like I don't want to work with you either. That's fine.
someone that's not going to vibe with you anyways.
No, and let them find someone that they can call at any hour and they're going to answer. Because there are agents that do that, but but
I ain't Shane Burgman.
But it's like that's like the biggest problem I think in real estate is like the stress level is so high because we don't have someone to say clock in at 9 and leave by 5. There's no one really to say like these are your
you have
working
to
hours.
create your own structure, and if you don't do that,
And
no
most
one's
people
gonna
don't have
do
the
it.
courage to do that.
And I don't think you can last for a long time if you don't
retention is awful in real
do
estate.
that. Yeah.
So 70 or 80% people don't make it past their second year because of renewals.
Right.
Like that's why, because they don't set boundaries and they're afraid because if they do, they're going to lose clients or they're going to rub someone the wrong way, whatever it is. Like, but once they get like the courage to do that, it changed my career entirely. I wish I started it sooner.
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
for the last 4 years I've been like super adamant about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing real estate 7 years.
It's all about longevity too, and you can't do it for and people that don't do it too, they'll go through phases throughout the year where they get really burnt out, and then they'll dip hard, and then they'll get back and then they'll dip hard again.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that burnout feeling, 10 times throughout the year, then you don't have those big dips, and you're just rolling more smooth.
Yeah.
So that's big.
It's just efficiency for me, and like whether it's real estate or like the analytics we were talking about running earlier, like I'm always like efficiency first, and then everything follows.
Yeah.
So, did that answer the routine question?
That was the routine. Did you get that?
Hopefully.
Did you take those notes?
Like that, just like all cut. That'd be funny if it's just like I just wake up to
It's just making take shit.
and the rest I'm just super reactive
Go
to
back,
real estate.
Go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry, I won't make these questions that much longer.
No, that's good. Yeah,
Okay.
We'll do a new question, new whiskey.
Yeah, let me know.
My morning routine, my whole routine is very similar to yours.
Yeah. What? So, without telling me your
I can do it in like maybe a minute instead.
Can you?
I could try.
All right, you got 1 minute. Go.
And this is the past 6-8 months probably because I've changed it over time. So I get up 4:45. I do my triathlon training first, bike, swim, or run. Then I'll do stretching into the meditation afterwards. Then I hit a cold shower, and then I'll do, depending on which exercise I'm doing, I'll do an audiobook. And I do audiobook during the stretching, turn it off for the meditation. But that's the majority of my morning routine. And then get into the office by 8 o'clock, hit my hard tasks earlier in the day, whatever that may be, appointments in the afternoon. I lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, after work, 5:30. But that's my overall schedule. So that's pretty.
Yeah, and that's 7 days a week.
Pretty similar.
I mean, you're not at the office here on the weekend.
I get up later on the weekend, which I've gone back and forth with, but I'm generally up later. Friday and Saturday nights. I don't go to bed early, so I'm a lot less.
You're out partying with Frankie.
I'm a lot less restrictive on the weekends. I'll still get up by like 6:30.
Yeah, I feel like a real piece of I sleep in, like beyond. If I wake up and it's like not 5 with the 5 on it, I feel like I've already lost the day.
I'm not a morning person at all. Like, I'm grumpy in the morning when I first get up and stuff, but the freedom or the feeling of like the world not being up yet and like what you can get done and everything is like so worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I think half of it, it's probably, we'll call it the second half. The first half is just like it's rewarding, it's great for your time, it's super efficient. The second half, it's like it feeds into my ego a little bit, to where I'm like, I feel already like I am more disciplined and more
accomplished. It's a big momentum thing. I think that's actually probably one of the reasons why I do it most, is because you're checking these things off and your like momentum is already like 8 a.m. hits and you're like already like full steam.
You've accomplished more than most people accomplish in an entire day
like
before they even woke up.
And that's like, I think one of the biggest.
What I'm talking about with the ego thing, where I'm like, this is why like people are successful and this is why people are not.
Yeah.
And I'm like very disciplined, and and I feel like real estate agents.
It builds the discipline, it builds the momentum, and it's like your day is rolling. Because I mean, a few things happen throughout the day, and you don't have any of that momentum going. You're kicked back way further than if you like already had all this momentum. You can, stuff happens. It's always gonna happen. You just boom right through it. Yeah.
What alarm clock do you use?
I put my phone across my room and on a charger, and the D&D goes on at 8:30 at night. Yep. And then the alarm goes off.
I almost was like, my mind went to Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons.
But I had to like back up, be like, do not disturb. I got it.
Yeah, do not D&D.
D&D was like, you too, man. Seriously, dude, bro, let's fucking whatever we do. What do you rage or rave or what do they call that?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Don't they like have like a?
I thought that was a video game where you're.
It is, but there's like a term they use when they like. Do they do a? Do you know, Shelby?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Where they do an assigned time and play. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do the alarm across the room thing.
And do you use you use the built-in app?
Yeah, just the built-in alarm system, and I get up and have to turn it off because otherwise I can
snooze or no snooze.
I'd snooze it. I would snooze it.
Oh, so you don't snooze because
I get up and I do it. As soon as I'm moving, my dog's ready to eat.
So you can't go.
So I got to go feed her, and then I go do my thing. Pour my little protein drink. Then I do the workout first because I'm just like it wakes me up. So the beginning of my workout's like a warm up. So I'll feel absolutely like I'm so tired I don't want to do anything. Yeah. And then I'll like warm up, and then I'm going, and then I feel like I do that first because then I feel like doing the stretching, the reading, the meditating thing afterwards is easier.
What are you?
I feel like I would be, and I honestly haven't tried it, but I feel like I would like almost fall asleep like if I.
When are you pooping?
Did the other stuff. Pooping's after the
lift?
Before the shower, after the workout.
Wow. That's like a long time, man.
That's when it hits. I don't know.
That's weird.
It doesn't hit me immediately.
Are you drinking water? Are you hydrating?
I'm not drinking. On the workout, I'm drinking.
But you're
water.
not waking up hydrating.
I'm not like pounding water. I had a protein drink.
You should pound some water.
First thing, pound some more water. You think that's what it is?
Well, think about it.
I have caffeine in my.
Yeah, but you're drinking less than 12 ounces if you're doing a mix.
Yeah.
Probably 8 because
you're
then I
highly
concentrated.
At least 24 on the ounces on the workout.
That's a lot though.
I don't know.
You're a small guy, so you don't need that much water. But
I gotta up my numbers.
Yeah, so I bet if you started waking up and 2 bottles of water, or what, you have a blender bottle or some sort of mixer bottle?
Yeah.
2 of those of water is 48 ounces.
No, I'm just pooping right away.
Dude, you wouldn't make it 10 minutes, man.
Water has never made me poop.
Do that and then record.
Does water make you poop?
She doesn't poop, man. She's a girl. Girls don't poop. Drink water.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I love it, man.
What are we drinking next?
Get the poop out of the way. I think it's your pick. Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone going on here. Oh, man, that's a pour. Hi.
I'm an aggressive pour, dude.
You are, dude. Chill out. What are we doing?
It's fucking lunchtime.
I know, man. I'm not single, bro. All right. So
now we're Drinking Bardstown.
Oh, that feels great.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. All right. Well, also I think we need to do and I think we can make our own, but we need to do a hype video for November 6th.
For sure.
Like, I already have like a map planned out.
Okay.
I feel like I'm spoiling something right now, but I've had a picture of your face taped in my garage for like the past month.
Really?
Yeah. And it's been
Taking
like
it to a new level.
like
dude.
every time I step to that squat rack, bro, I'm just so motivated.
I haven't seen it
I
in any
just-
of the videos. That's interesting.
You know, it's been. I think I blew it on that one. Whatever. I mean, I don't know.
It's good, man. Now I gotta get a.
But that was going to be part of my.
Do you want to do one together or like separately?
I don't know. What do you think? Because I think we could do it separately.
I think
We could do it a
together.
combination.
So like I had like literally just sent Connor. Connor's my video guy. A message yesterday, or no, was it this morning? I think it was this morning after my run, about like 2 video ideas that I want to do, and one of them was like the build up to the triathlon.
Yeah.
I think at like week 4 is when we really start like documenting the training.
Yeah.
Like we've done a little bit here and there, but I think like that's when it's really gonna get like dialed in. Like right now, I feel like we're building baseline.
Yeah.
I don't know how your like training structure is, but for me, it's like I'm building baseline. Probably like week 5 to 4 is when it's like I'm turning it up a few degrees.
We're 8 weeks away.
And then your body picture that's in my garage right now. It's actually a punching bag. I just put your body
It's
on a
just my
punching bag.
face
It's like
on
a
a
small
punching
punching bag, so you fit.
Yeah.
I'm just wailing on it.
Yeah, just wailing
every
on that
morning.
thing.
That's how
I had to see. I wanted to like the most smug look of your face that I could find, and it was a picture of you and Rebecca, and
wow,
it was just like so. Like I have a little of her hair on the side of your face.
smug. Like what is my face?
It's just
doing?
like a, we have. I have
like smug. I feel like the smug is a
like
like you, like just like giving that look like. Is she?
My plan was just like I just never to say anything, and at some point in time you would see it in the background of one of the videos, but I think you missed it the first time, but that's the photo that I used.
Oh, that's a good photo, man.
You look great in the photo.
I think so too. Yeah.
But it's just like
That was a
and
good-
smug's not the right word.
No,
for that.
that's a super happy.
It's just
dude.
like a
Super
like
great
like an
photo.
overly
You with a
happy
beautiful
Shane
woman.
picture.
That'll get you. That'll get you going, man.
Yeah.
We could probably sell that.
You could make.
I'll
some-
autograph it.
Yeah.
Spice
All
it
right,
up a little.
yeah.
Man, I might have to do that.
But yeah, we need to make
It's like
a
severe hatred.
hype video.
I feel like so like the last
put out
triathlon-
like a month before it.
Yeah, but like I want to. I like it. I like serious stuff too. I also like a lot of like comedy, but I feel like this is serious, but it's also like actually like for a really good cause. I feel like it's good to bring out
Oh,
competition.
it'll be serious.
And I think we could get like even like.
I think my
Monica-
thought is like an UFC fight,
Okay.
and you have this guy training,
Team.
and you
Okay.
have this guy training, and there's each one's it's like a hype video for this guy and hype video for that guy.
And
then
what
you're
if
going,
we get like sponsors?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say at the last triathlon, like you had a crew. I felt like really. I was like, oh, I should probably leave. Like you had a posse roll up.
You had
man.
to leave though afterwards. You had a
No, I
brunch.
felt really uncomfortable.
You had a brunch that you told me because I asked you to come out with us afterwards.
I did have a brunch.
And you had a brunch.
I also
It was
decided to let you relish in your loss.
It was. Is that what it was? Thank
Well, I
for
mean,
doing
you
that.
still had like
It's
a
an
hype.
hon-
Your
it's an
crew was super
honorable-
hypey. You like you guys know he lost, right? Like I mean,
I did
wow,
lose.
he did it. That's
I
an
did
amazing accomplishment. Like so proud of you, bud. Like that's what that was. It was like a pity party. So
Yeah.
I was happy for you, but I just decided to
man.
get the out of there
Yeah.
because I had a brunch.
This one, maybe we can. Yeah.
I did. I think we.
You told me
we went to
before
28 Northwest, right?
before we did it that you
Yeah.
had a brunch.
I would have loved to celebrate. With
Yeah.
you.
Well, I mean, I invited you, which was nice.
Yeah, I know. Maybe this next one after your second loss,
Oh man.
we'll do brunch
So
together.
for people that don't know, we have $5,000 potential $5,000 bet. We got each leg, so it's bike, swim, run, $1,000 each for that, and then an additional $2 to the overall winner.
Yep. Like overall time. So like time
Overall
2,000.
time,
That's
yeah.
an easy one. Then each leg broken down into time is $1,000.
Is $1,000 each.
Yeah.
So clean sweep, $5,000, which
which is
probably going to happen.
Going to definitely happen.
Yeah. So let's talk a little.
Let's document it. Yeah, we'll document it.
But we'll do a little hype video for sure.
I like it. I like showing that.
We got to build it up,
side
and we need to
of our business.
make sure we have all the charities and picked out for that.
Yeah.
So that way we can put that into it. You know.
It's a cool thing. I mean, I feel like it's a good reason to train for something.
Yeah,
and a good reason to like do something, and then also
sure.
like builds camaraderie.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've never been so excited in my life for something.
Yeah. me too.
Oh, it brings out. I like competition in general, you know, and I think it brings out it's like primal.
For sure. No,
I think it brings out some.
And that's why I think we got scary because like even when we did the recap over at Pineapples, like you could tell both of us are like like I think I might play it like downplay it a little bit more than you, but like like as a compliment where like both of us highly like I don't want to say ego is not the right word, but like we're both very confident in like our abilities.
Yeah.
And whether like we're right or wrong, it doesn't really matter because like my truth is my truth.
Yeah.
Like you think you're better than me, and I think I'm better than you.
Yeah.
You're gonna smoke me.
Well, I am better than you, but yeah.
Right. So like I know that's like your truth.
Yeah.
And that's not the world's truth or anyone else's truth. It's really just a lie.
Yeah.
But like having that confidence, I think, is something that like not is a trait that a lot of people don't have.
Mm-hmm.
But some people have it in like the wrong fashion, where they have that they're too confident and cocky. Where it's like,
I think a big thing of it is like, and for me, like I don't care about like I'm fine with losing and failure. I just want to I want to like step up to the plate and like be in whatever competition and I don't want to like not do something because I think I'm going to I want to have a potential of losing, to have like a real actual I don't want to take a bet like if I know I can win like without any problem or something like that, just like in general. Like this particular one I took on that premise.
It was so fast to shake that hand.
But just
absolutely. I was like, oh, okay.
But just in general, it's like some people are afraid to do competitive things because they don't like losing or whatever. And I don't care about that.
But I think
I want to rip your head off.
Clearly,
when I do it, already have. Because it's I'm just competitive, but I'm not gonna not do it because I'm afraid to lose.
No, but I think we've talked about this before too. Your relationship with failure and losses.
Yeah.
And I
you have to like it. It's
but it's like a growth.
Right.
Opportunity.
You can't
some
grow
people lose
without
something
it.
or fail at something. And they're
you don't take the risk. Can't learn and get better.
No, but then you analyze and say what I did do incorrectly, and it's the same in real estate. If I don't get a listing or if a buyer fires me, which never happens, but if it did, it happened. Actually, it's happened a lot.
It happens.
Please cut all of that.
I don't. But have you ever I've never. I don't think either one of us have been on a listing appointment.
Competed against each other.
Yeah.
I don't think so. You wouldn't have gotten it. That's pretty clear. I'm pretty strong on a listing appointment. I'm very confident in my listing ability.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that...
I hope that we have one that we know about one day so we can place a bet on it.
How do we do that? How would we
just have to...
I feel like maybe early on in my career...
I was
trying to remember when I first...
I have one person that I lost. I really like this guy too, by the way. Super awesome dude. Jeremy Stewart.
Tons of respect for Jeremy.
Yeah, I love Jeremy.
Yeah.
I lost 2 listings to him. And they were very, it was just a weird, thing, and I was I told him about it. I was like,
how did you know? Did the seller straight up tell you they interviewed Jeremy? Or I guess you saw it listed.
Yeah.
And you put the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
I do the same.
Yeah. One of them, I was very surprised.
That for Jeremy, or this is another person?
That they went with Jeremy. The other one, I was like, I don't blame you. I bombed that day. I was ill-prepared, overwhelmed. One of those,
Yeah, you knew you were going to lose.
I didn't feel great about my performance.
Yeah.
Which that happens sometimes, I think. Maybe not for you, but,
I mean, I think...
I've had off days.
On my worst day, I'm still better than you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I feel like...
We'll see November 6th, brother.
I could probably be sleeping. We'll
see November 6th.
No, but I think it's the same, with I was going with that, with whether it's in real estate, getting a listing, working with a buyer, getting a contract, even into like doing the competitions like we're doing now, or even other races. Like I always look at that and analyze it. Like what could I have done maybe differently that would have, came up with a different outcome. And I always view it like that. But I don't ever like, maybe there's that like little sliver of time where I like beat myself up a little bit, but I don't have this big pity party.
No.
I'm in and out. I understand it shouldn't be emotional. It's hard to sometimes extract that emotion, but then I look at it, analyze what I could have changed, and then I implement it the next time I'm up to bat for the listing, for the race, whatever it is. So
I don't think you could be successful without having like I think resilience in business period is probably the most important thing. I mean, because if you get up to bat the most amount of times, like you're going to do well at some point.
Yeah, just give me the
opportunity. But if you're afraid to
bat,
then you're never going to do well.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. And I think if I had to pick one particular skill, resilience, I think, in business, real estate.
In life, though.
For sure. Life,
tons
too.
of resilience in life.
For sure. Amen.
I almost was going to bring that into a joke, but I didn't feel like I needed to. But I truly do mean that. There's not a lot of, like, I wouldn't say there's not a lot of people that I meet that have, like, possess what I would view as, like, the skills that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So resilience, fortitude, discipline, motivation, confidence. Like, do you have a cocktail of what makes an incredible human, an incredibly successful human? From my view.
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about you.
Wow, bro. Thank
so
you.
whiskey. So whiskey
That
giving me
must be the
compliments,
whiskey.
man.
Well, you too, man. I appreciate it.
But that's like genuinely serious, and I think it's why like, and I've joked about this before, where I've said I don't hang out with any real estate agent except Garrett Bell, and now it's like changed where I do hang out with more, but I've always had a ton of respect for you.
Thanks, man. You too.
And I'm trying to like place when it was though. You don't have to give me the compliment back.
No. I mean, I wouldn't be here.
Absorb it, take it.
I
wouldn't
thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
Like,
Literally. But I still keep trying to go back to the first time we had an interaction, and I think it was in a neighborhood in Suntree, and I had these older clients. It might have been like my first year in real estate, and I think you had the listing, and I don't remember if they bought it or not. I don't know if it was that one that they bought. I need to pinpoint like our first, because we did a deal. Yeah. And I think that was like our first interaction.
And then you'd come by
to get the check or something.
The lockbox, I think, or something. You dropped off something.
Yeah. And I feel like it was.
That was what, like 2015?
It was like when I first got licensed.
Yeah, 2015.
It was my first year.
Yeah.
And I think the last name was Santos. And it was in a community right off of Morel. So if you're traveling north of Morel, just beyond like where Dean Mead and all that is, there's like community pool. Then it's like a smaller community. They all have American flags in their mailbox.
Yeah.
Fuck, what is it? I don't know.
Anyways,
that was the house. It had to be the house. And they bought it. There was a big tree in the driveway.
Might have been a foreclosure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
because you were doing a lot of the REOs.
Freddy's. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wild West days, man. Those were fun.
Those
were good times.
That was it. So we go back 7 years.
Yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy
I know.
Time flies
when you're having a blast.
When you're having fun.
High blood pressure.
All right. Anyways, we'll attempt to get back on topic.
Yeah, we'll try.
We'll see how many of these we actually
How far
hit.
are we into this? This is like the longest recording ever.
Yeah.
We're gonna break some records. This is gonna be like a Joe.
No one's gonna watch.
This is gonna be like a Joe Rogan.
To break this up in like 10 seconds.
This could be several. Just one question.
You know Joe Rogan's. Do you listen to Joe Rogan?
I'm
gonna bring us off on another. Dude.
They're long. They're like an hour and a half.
They're like some of them are 3.
I think it's cool because it's like a real conversation that people have, and
yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone's going to watch this. If this was all one podcast, I'd be really surprised if people are watching up to this point.
Yeah.
But,
you know, we say some good stuff, though. I feel like there's going to be there's going to be some people that can make it till the end.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I have a hard time making it to the end.
We have a lot of important things to say.
Yeah. All right. Where are we going?
All right. We're going to, we'll do.
Just we'll
do a couple real estate things.
We answered one question.
All right. Listing agent takes 3.5%, offers 2.5% to the buyer side. How do you feel, my friend?
I feel like it's fair. And
why?
You as the buyer, what did you spend on marketing? You as the buyer's agent, sorry. You as the buyer's agent, what did you spend on marketing? What have you spent to help generate market activity for that listing? What have you done to expose that listing? You brought a buyer, which is extremely valuable, but if you think you deserve the same compensation as someone that has literally poured thousands of dollars in marketing expenses on that one, I think you're wrong.
What if to the majority of people who don't do the thousands of dollars, then is it fair?
I don't think the responsibility is a 50-50 balance from a listing agent to a buyer's agent.
In any market.
Well, I think sometimes it alters. So like, let's say last market, right? So literally 3 months ago. I
Yeah,
think the
let's
listing
talk
agent
about it's March
listing agent's
2022.
job was easy because in theory they just had to list it and put it on the market, and
Because
there
the
was
market's
20
so
buyers that
hot,
came
there's 20
through.
buyers that come
Buyers
through.
agents were working their asses off, showing all these properties. The probability of them getting accepted for one was less than 10%. So that's a lot of f***ing work. That's a lot of mental stress. It's a lot of effort.
Mhm.
Should their compensation be more? I would still stand by and say, like, I don't always think it should be a 50-50. I feel like I don't know.
It's a valid opinion.
Why do you ask?
Just curious. So, same thing from the builder side then. So, what about from a new construction standpoint? Market's hot. Offers 2%. Now they're going back to 3 plus
4.
bonuses. Yeah.
I feel like that's happened before.
Mhm.
So before I got into real estate, it happened, but I know it happened. Where the market gets good, builders forget that they need realtors and buyers that are working with realtors.
Yeah.
So then they loosen up on the commission offered because, well, we don't need you guys because we got 60 people trying to get in this lottery. And then the market changes, and then all of a sudden they need us again, and they start hosting, opens and start trying to tantalize us and give us more compensation. I feel like it's a cyclical thing that is going to continue to happen. But I think realtors, for the most part, were spiteful, and we like vengeance, and we don't forget like that. So, like, there are certain builders that a lot of people aren't going to forget that they decided to either completely not offer any commission or do 1%, which is honestly, it's just a slap in the face. It's like my truthful response on that. I feel like it was disrespectful, it's rude, and it's a severe call to the credibility that they think that us as realtors bring to the table.
My counter argument then to the beginning would be market's hot, you're getting 20 agents on a showing, and you're a listing agent, and you took 4% and offered the buyer's agents too. I feel like that could be considered almost similar scenarios. My opinion, I guess, to give my opinion on it, I think there are certain circumstances of which I paid for staging. I did some things like this. This is not even split. There's no right or wrong answer to this either. But I think also it's greedy if you're taking 3.5% and you're getting 28 offers on a day on the market and you paid, for photos.
Well, let's also, devil's advocate on that. So I assume you've been on the listing side where you've got 20 offers.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like?
It's a headache, yes.
How do you present all 20 offers fairly? How do you respond to 20 agents and their offers?
Yeah.
How do you diplomatically
But
let
one's
the
getting
19
chosen, and that's the only one getting paid. So I
Well,
don't know. I can see
time expenditure
I can
that
see
you
both
as a
sides,
listing agent
and I
has
think that's a
spent.
hot topic of
sure.
splitting it. But I tend to lean more on depending on the situation, and not that I think it's unfair taking, because I think some people don't explain that to their sellers well.
They don't articulate it correctly.
Yeah.
I would say that if it was on a assumed 6% commission and 2% was
Like,
offered
hey,
to the
seller,
buyer's
I'm
agent,
giving 6. You're
so-
getting 6%. They don't know anything otherwise.
Sure.
And then on the side here, I'm taking 3.5, offering 2.5.
and I think that's fair. But if it was 4 and 2, that's where I draw the line of that's up.
Yeah.
I think 2.5 should be what's offered as the buyer's compensation. It's actually the average right now.
Right.
Right. There are still agents that
Yeah,
are
yeah.
offering 2 because they literally sign a low fee commission, whatever it may be, or even the flat fee brokerage, whatever it is. 2% is considered low to the average. 2.5 is average. 3%, like, agents are like, oh, that's generous, that's nice. But I don't think it's ever like there's not many agents that are going to look at 2 listings, and if one's 3%, one's 2.5%. There's not a lot of agents that are going to be like, we're going to really focus on this 3% one. There are some, sure.
Yeah.
But the
not a good agent though, because I mean it's about your client and which house they want.
The difference between the two is marginal.
Mm.
But then when you think about how much money that now that the market is changing, I think the value from a good listing agent. What I mean by good listing agent, someone that doesn't take photos on their cell phone, someone that maybe pays someone to write the narrative, like because we're realtors, we're not a copywriter. So like someone that pays to write sales copy for a narrative is extremely important. Yeah. Someone that has a website built, does social ads, Google ads, whatever it is that they're doing to maximize the exposure for their client, which is the seller. Mm. Those agents are the ones that are going to be the ones that win in this new market.
Oh, 100%.
Because they get it.
Yeah.
And because it's going to cost money. So now at that point, the split, the 3.5 to 2.5, is going to become way more common.
Yeah, for sure. That's good stuff. That's valid. You're killing your videos. You're crushing them. You're doing awesome.
Thank you.
What's been the hardest part about, because I've seen an evolution from you of how much better you've gotten over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So what was the hardest part of it and learning curve?
I guess
And do you have any parts that you still struggle with?
Yeah, I mean, always. And it goes back to I'm always struggling with certain things, or I maybe view something, I'm like, maybe I that up, or shouldn't have said that, or did that better. But I think the hardest part for me was kind of like letting go a little bit. And what I mean by that is, I guess it's 2 things. One, not really like caring that much what other people view of me and how they view me and how they read into the way I say.
That's a big piece with
it's a
all
huge piece.
of it.
Because we're humans, like we're like vanity exists more so. I think and
you're always way more critical on yourself
for sure, dude. Yeah. And I'm highly critical. Like we have there are women on our team that will not do video because they are very afraid of how they look on camera and then how people perceive them. That exists with everyone that does video. It exists with me. It exists with anyone. But it's just getting over the point of like just being, I don't really like. I
always say, and that's valid, and I have that same thing myself. But I always say like, the person is going to see you in real life, and you look the same as you do in real life as you do on camera, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So who cares?
And for me, I love it when. So
but I mean, everyone has.
But like that's what being the authentic self means. It's such a cliche to say, and I cringe when people say, when they are on a panel and like someone says, "What should we do for video?" Be authentic, be genuine. It's such like a cliche thing to say because no one really does it for the most part. There are some, but I take a ton of pride in being like the guy you see on video. It's the same dude in real life. And I've had people come up to me at real estate conferences. I've had people come up to me like in the public. You're the same dude. Like, yes, that to me is being genuine. I'm not going on camera pretending I'm someone else or smarter, or like more, whatever it is. Like, it's me. I'm going to swear. I'm going to mess lines up. I love data, but I'm also going to be funny. So, like, there's a merge of it. But so, like, the hardest part for me was just, like, kind of letting go. Like I have pride and I have vanity, but just kind of letting go of that.
That part, yep.
And then also letting go of, like, the control. So, like... the
production part?
For the production
part, yeah.
So, like, letting go of, like, the outcome is the outcome, and we'll get better over time. Because for the first 3 years when I was doing video, I would film and edit everything myself. So I had a ton of control over it, because I wouldn't put something out unless I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
I'd reshoot something if I stuttered over a line. So
you were fine watching your stuff and editing it? Yeah.
Because I'm a critic.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from a critique standpoint.
That I struggle with.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like hearing their own voice. They don't like seeing themselves. I do because I'm analyzing it. Like, like, what's the receptive side going to be like?
It would be easier if I'm trying to get more comfortable watching my own because it would make things easier.
It would make you get better.
Yeah.
Because I know you would look at it.
Because then I would say,
I
would be able to get my own self-feedback.
Maybe I should slow down when
asking Shelby, what did I up on this?
Like you watch it. It's like watching a tape, right?
Like your triathlon thing that you posted?
Yeah.
I didn't watch that because I was in it.
It was good.
Well, that's good. But I didn't. But it's stuff like that I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
You had a good role in it.
Oh, thanks.
It was a fun role.
Yeah.
It was a good piece. But I think that's like extremely valuable to watch because
to get your own feedback.
Yeah, score that's yourself, see how you're doing, and
that's
see what
valid.
You like.
Yeah.
Because like I think for me, I tend to talk fast.
Yeah.
And when you talk fast on camera, it doesn't always look that well. So I have to consciously slow down.
Connor is your video guy.
Yes.
We can edit out his name if you don't want it to be. No, I'm just kidding. But he does your shooting, editing. He does editing. You're posting everything on social media? No, you don't post. Yeah. Outsourced that, or your assistant? Connor does that.
So Connor and I have worked together now going on 2 years. Initially started off as like freelance, and then like the volume of production we were doing became... You
get a full-time gig.
He's full-time now.
Yeah,
so we brought him on full-time this year. Salary, only
That's
does
awesome.
video for me. We have added additional like duties and responsibilities to his job to justify the salary, but essentially his job is he's the creative director for our team.
Shane Burgman.
For really
the team.
For me and
Yeah.
and whatever the creative division looks like with the Burgman Group moving forward. But Connor is the director and in charge of all of creative. But currently right now he's we film every Wednesday, so I have a standing block from 10 to 2 every Wednesday where we film, and then throughout the week he's editing and then also publishing. So I don't post.
So you like to put it in blocks. You go shoot one day.
Yeah, it has to be on the blog. I have to know it's there so I can schedule around it. But I also, it's like a mindset thing too. So on Wednesday I know we're filming. So like maybe I time my haircut appropriately around it, or like before. So every Monday, another thing we do is every Monday we do the MPOA, Monday Plan Action of the week. Monday Plan of Action. And it really talks about a couple things. One, what we're trying to put out this week as far as publishing and what day, and then what we're filming, and then third things, if we can get to it, we're going to try to do it as like bonus material.
Yeah.
So we always know what we're posting that given week, and then we also know what we're filming that Wednesday. And then it continues moving forward. And we've been doing it long enough now where we have like an archive of asset of just videos that we have that like when we post something tomorrow, we filmed it 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Which I never like understood that concept until now, because like batching video, people don't really like fully understand the concept of it. I'm not a spontaneous guy where like right now if you're like let's do a skit and we film it and then the expectation is like let's post it today or tomorrow. That's where I get stressed out. I want to take the time to say, well, let's like think about it a little bit, and then let's like make sure it's planned, because those are the videos that are always going to be better.
It's an actual structure that you do long term. If you're sporadic, then it can't be consistent.
If you're catching trends and you're doing things sporadically, and then you have something else that's better to do, because then you're going to drop that sporadic thing off and you're not going to do it. So now it's a commitment. Every Wednesday we do it.
People wait for a moment of inspiration to do stuff like that, and those are so few and far between that if you're always waiting for that moment of when I'm inspired to do a video or whatever, like you're going to do 3 a year.
Then that's why people have creative like lulls, and they get into like the space where they
War of Art.
Yeah.
That's
like,
a great book.
The War of Art?
The War of Art.
What was the one I just ordered this morning from?
Psychology of Money.
Literally ordered it yesterday.
Yeah. That's a really good book.
And I ordered Grit this morning too.
Tell me a little bit about your investment strategies, because you've bought some places, right? Rentals.
Yeah.
Are you still doing? What do you got going on with that?
So my investment strategy on that is something. Was it last week? I think like advice that I had like talked to the team. And this is anyone listening, and you already know this, but like realtors, so we don't make money in selling property, we make money in buying property. And that's something that I think people should like, I'll repeat it. You don't make money by selling property, you make money by buying property, or rather real estate. So what that means is like we'll sling real estate all day and listings, and we get a commission on it. Most people blow that commission on whatever it is. They're not holding 30 back and 30 for taxes and another 30 for the business and 10 in the state. Like they're not actually structuring it the way it should be. So they're just selling property, and then they have to keep up with that rat race of like, oh shit, I got to sell more property to make more money. I started investing, it was 2 years ago. Kirk Kessel was the one that like truly inspired me into it. And he like hit me hard with it.
He's bought a
ton. Dude, that guy, biggest real estate investor, easily on the Space Coast. Like there's so much about that guy that like people don't know. Wealth of knowledge, highly successful. A man that truly loves what he does and does not have to continue to sell real estate at the highest level, and he is, but loves it. Like so, he inspired me to start purchasing real estate as an investment side. So I started doing that. My philosophy is I really like the long-term rental aspect. I view it as my retirement. In the military, we had an IRA or like a retirement fund. This is like my sob story, but had to evaporate all of those funds from my 10 years of active service so I could start my real estate career. So my military retirement was depleted so I could basically fuel what I do now. So it took me years to kind of like get on track and figure out where I needed to be, and then investing is now my new future, Roth 401, whatever we want to call it. So Kirk 2 years ago was like, "How old are you?" And he's like, "You need to start buying at least a property a year."
Mm-hmm.
And
it's good advice.
And hit me with it, and so then it became this like internal goal where I said, "You know what? I want to own 50 properties by the time I'm 50 years old." And so I started calculating, and I actually have to buy 3.5 per year to get to 50
rolling, baby.
Yeah, no. So like that inspired me. So like, first year bought a property, second year bought 2 or 3 more, and then so now I'm holding on long terms. This year, my plan is like to buy another 2 before year end. Next year, I need to get 4 to be on track. Mm-hmm. And then what kind of like put me in a little spot is I started dabbling with a flip. Mm-hmm. Never done it before. It looks really sexy on TV.
Yeah. You were swinging the hammer at that wall.
Yeah, I took down some walls.
Yeah,
That's cool. Now I'm just like I've been in a holding pattern for like 2 months and nothing has happened. So it's like I literally cash is just sitting in this house where I should it's just been not the same process. I'll still profit from it.
Do you have it for sale?
No, we're not even. We're about 80% complete with
renovations is still happening.
We're still, we're on hold with the city, is honestly, before I get too political about it.
Oh, I got a...
It's not on the city. It's actually on the contractors I'm working with.
Yeah. I got a...
It's me.
I have a duplex in Cocoa Village that I bought.
Oh, I'm doing... same city.
And, dude, I got... didn't pull all the permits, And I got the code enforcement, and I got the red stickers on there right now. The stop work stickers, bastards.
And I feel so I'm kind of in like a similar situation, and I mean it's my fault, but it's a good learning experience. Because like I was telling this story to someone last week, and they're I elaborated a lot more on it, and they're like, "Oh my God, it sounds terrible. Like you're not going to do this again, right?" And I said, "No, actually, I am."
Oh, yeah.
I've learned so much. Like,
yeah.
There's a cost for education. This is the cost for my education. For sure. And it's the time that I've lost with my money in the property, and the more expensive. That's my college. That's how I view education.
It's I mean, I think I've had to put a dollar figure on my mistake. It's probably $20,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's an expensive.
But the next one you do, you'll know.
That's a mistake you don't forget.
But you'll know, like the next one you
learn
do,
it.
You're gonna know it so well. You're gonna be educating the city on this shit.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, sometimes what it takes to get to a point where it's like I have to know this.
Yeah.
And I will, because it hurt. It was painful because it cost me a lot of money and time. And so now like I'm gonna this better than anyone.
Yeah.
And that's the internal like engines in me going. So that flip is, we should have sold it, probably offloaded it last year was my goal. I purchased that earlier this year in February. So we're a little behind on it. But I'm going to continue. I already have a property lined up to buy next month. So I'm still already kind of like thinking in the future of how to do it, but how to do it more efficient, faster,
Have you thought about the short-term rental side?
I mean, we've talked about it. So like my wife and I have kind of gone back and forth on it. Like, could this be a cool strategy that we implement? And I just get concerned about the longevity of it because it's literally one of those things that if the
rules
city
can
decided
change.
to change it, we've experienced that on the beach where it's like one side of the street does short term and the other doesn't.
Yeah.
Like that could be catastrophic to a business, to a business model. And it's happened to our clients where they bought the house, they had full intent to be short term, and then all of a sudden
that's why you got to be careful with representing someone.
It happened this year. So we've learned a lot this year.
Yeah. So brokers opens. Opinions, feelings on brokers opens. Broker opens. Why is that? Broker opens.
Broker opens. How do you want me to answer?
Broker opens. Are they valuable or a waste of time, Shane Burgman?
Valuable to whom? Garrett Bell.
Valuable to the seller.
No. I think it's a ploy to say, hey, seller, I had 30 people that said your house is overpriced. Like, what are they going to say? Oh, well, no shit, because they all work with you.
I
think a broker open is...
A broker open, potentially, this is which I've never done.
I mean, I'm
anything outside of Brevard County. But
I'm split.
My view is maybe in a high-end market.
For sure. Luxury.
New York City, broker opens make sense.
Doing a broker open at your property in Levitt Park, right?
In Levitt Park. Nothing wrong with Levitt
Nothing
Park.
wrong with Levitt Park. I'm just trying to like give a scale.
Yes, let's
people
scale
like, most
Levitt
realtors
Park.
are going to know price point in there.
Yeah.
A broker open in there isn't really valuable because majority of agents are going to sell that price point. Now you do a broker open, something on the Trail or Wyndham, right? That's a different type of buyer's agent. That's a different agent that knows that market, different agent that talks to those people. There is a lot of, I think, communications that happen, especially at like the highest end of real estate, that doesn't always happen in the other secondary, other tiers of it. I don't even know if we should even put any of this on film.
No, that's all right. We'll make us look good. And honest.
But I think depending on the price point is where I think the broker open exists, because if you have a product and it's generally based on price point that is going to appease the masses, a broker's open isn't that valuable.
Broker open only
we
real.
want to say brokers open.
I don't know. Brokers.
I think
Broker open.
It's a broker's open, so it's like a
Brokers.
It's a broker's
Brokers.
possessive. It's your open.
Brokers open it.
Or is it for brokers, so there's no possession to it? I don't even know. Is there an apostrophe?
I
in
think
that?
broker open.
It would be after the S.
Brokers open.
Because it's not your. You're not. It's like not your. It's for other.
I don't know
brokers.
now. We've said the word too many
It's
times.
ridiculous.
But I feel like
Highly valuable. I love them.
if highly valuable,
You guys
all
should
of
do them all the time.
yes,
and get Bella Title to sponsor.
I've been to one broker open house in my entire real estate career.
How'd it go?
Flavia's Penthouse. It's the only broker open I ever been to. It was a great broker. I mean, it was a 10,000 square foot penthouse condo like that. Okay, makes sense.
I respect them.
But like, so scenario, house is listed. You have a potential buyer for this. They're out of town, whatever it is. I'm gonna do a FaceTime with them or something. I mean, what scenario of like, I'm going to a broker open, like, oh, maybe I'm gonna have a buyer for this that I wouldn't have had based upon
them
the
seeing
pictures
it online first.
online. And that's where it's like,
I feel like that's like the old reason why people would do a broker open, because they were trying to maybe get it on the radar of other agents that might have buyers in that category. But then with the invention of the internet and like basically now the first viewing of a property is always online.
because I'm gonna go to the broker. I'm gonna go to the broker. Like, I got the photos
Get some free
online.
ziti.
It's
Maybe a
it's
couple of
for
seltzers.
people that want to drink and go get the food
And have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
Yeah.
but that's not always the case. I think it has changed. Is where I'm going with this. Where again, another failure and something that I didn't always respect is the relationship with other real estate agents. So I think that's why broker opens exist, because you're able to get in your peers, your colleagues, whether they have a buyer for that house or not. I find that irrelevant. I think what should be relevant is building that relationship and camaraderie with other agents, especially the agents that are at the highest producing level, because those are the ones you want to build a good rapport with.
Yeah.
Because the probability of someone like you bringing an offer on one of my listings versus someone that just got into the business is much different.
Right.
I'd rather have a good working rapport with you. Not saying I wouldn't want it with that other person, but that's just the higher probability.
Can
of
be
us keeping that
valuable
deal
from
together
an agent
because of respect level.
relationship standpoint.
And there's a ton of
The
value in
seller
those,
is
yeah.
questionable.
If you're doing a broker open for the seller, I think that's old. Like
It's a questionable.
it's questionable value on that, because what's the intent on that? Because you've had it listed for 30 days, you did a broker open, and there was no price reduction. I feel like and we all know why you're doing that, because you're also having us fill out a card that says, what do we think about the price? Like, what are you doing with those cards?
Yeah.
I think like that's a really weak way to like convince a seller that their house is overpriced.
Get other.
There's
people
other ways to do it that are more
Data.
data driven and analytical,
yeah.
and like
I agree.
just getting 30 people to say it's overpriced. And thanks for the. I'll go back to the slide. We'll do sliders. Thanks for the sliders at this broker open.
Thanks for the sliders,
really
baby.
appreciate you guys. Like I sold my soul for a slider.
Mm. I've sold my soul for worse.
I love a good slider though.
All right. The team.
Yeah.
You got a team now. How's that going? What's next?
So we're called a group.
We're group.
We're a group. We operate as a team.
Apologies. Shane Burgman Group.
Yeah, we were a team at one. So
You've upgraded.
We've upgraded.
The
Well,
group.
I also think it sounded better. It looked better. Team is
SBG versus SBT.
well, team. So I'll go on a tangent on teams.
Oh,
I feel
let's hear the team thing.
So I actually saw
Don't get me fucking
articulated
started.
the other day that really got me it helped me educate me. But team has been a very sexy term for the past few years. You have a husband and wife that do the same, and they call themselves a team. It wasn't until like last week I was like I literally read it. I was on a website and it was like, that's a domestic partnership. It's not a team. It's a domestic partnership.
A domestic partnership.
Team should have structure, operation, systems. Like that's an actual team. It's become one of those things where a lot of agents try to coin themselves as a team to make it more appealing from a seller. So it's like, I'm not a single point failure. I have a team.
It just sounds bigger.
It just sounds bigger than they are, which is okay, but it's not. It's not right. Our team is not like any of that. Like
you're a group, so you're not a team.
So to answer your question directly, I think the team aspect of our group is incredibly high, and there's a couple things I'm always concerned about, and always have been, and always will be. Initially, to me, it's always like camaraderie, and that I think is something that exists because of military and because of the camaraderie we experienced working in that environment. It's something that once you get it, it's hard to forget. Camaraderie is something that I might not like this person, but I can rely on them, and I know that like when we work together, we jive, and that like
culture
we're amazing. It's culture. It's all that. Camaraderie is something that is very, very difficult to attain, and I feel like the camaraderie and culture within the group that I've created is amazing, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy with the people I'm working with, and I love it. So as it exists right now, we have myself and there's 3 sales partners that work together with us. Additionally, I have Connor, so we've talked about him as my full-time video guy, who he's called the creative director because his overall job is going to be much bigger, let's say in a year or 2 years, than it is currently. So right now I'm more focused on building out the creative division, where I've brought on another video guy. I'm having conversations with marketing. I'm having conversations with people that can help out from like a marketing and a more visual standpoint than just sales. I think we're good with sales right now, and I want to have a leg that's almost just as large as far as like a population standpoint that's helping propel the business to where it needs to be. So from like the growth standpoint, I'm going to continue growing on really our creative division and then other kind of aspects of it.
Are you going to, have you ever outsourced anything like, have you done a virtual assistant site, anything like that, like done anything through?
I've outsourced, like I did a bio on Fiverr. Yeah. So I outsourced that. I've outsourced some copywriting on Fiverr. I've never outsourced video. I've never outsourced other stuff. I have a web development team that has built my website. They don't do real estate, which is why I really liked the web development. I'm the first real estate guinea pig, but it's amazing because they want to know everything they can about it.
Yeah.
We'll have such different real estate. So like you see all these other sites, and it's like that's a Boomtown site, that's a this site, that's whatever it is. It's all plug and play. It looks great now, but it's not optimized for something different. So I take a lot of pride in that approach. But I was like thinking about it this morning, where it's like it's a different position for me now, because like now I'm not just focused on selling real estate. It's bigger than that. And the easiest way to kind of boil it down is like, what is my actual job? And then it's like, my job is providing opportunities for my team, whether that's in the format of leads, whether that's in the format of opportunity to film video, in the format of like opportunity how to become more efficient, systems, things that
Training,
I've done that have taken me 7 years to develop.
Yeah.
This is yours. I want you to take it and run with it. And I've made all the errors, all the mistakes. I've just really shortened up your time to make the decision.
Yeah.
So that's like where I stand now, and it's something that I love. I love that leadership standpoint of it. And I really love seeing like those team members blossom. And so every member on my team right now has at least doubled their production from where they're at last year.
Nice. It's awesome.
And we're just into quarter 4.
Yeah.
So like, those are the metrics that I look at. Production is one thing, but also
growth, of where they were before and where they are now.
And I think they're actually really happy with the environment, and they're really happy with the culture that we've created. And I'm not a guy that wants like this large number of team members. I had someone the other day, and it was interesting because it was something I was like toying around with my head, but I didn't really feel like appropriate that I could say it out loud, but someone else said it, so now I feel better about it. But I was explaining the way our team works, and they're like, oh, you're like the Navy SEALs of real estate. And I was like, yes, right? So like highly efficient, small group, all high producers,
Mm.
very detailed, and we'll get done. That's like
Denovo Realty.
But
No,
that's
but
like
that's-
that's in
it's-
my mind, and it
yeah,
can't
yeah.
happen with quantity. It's quality. So quality over quantity, and everything I do in life.
Absolutely.
Where we're at now, I'm proud of that.
Saying no to people is super important.
And it happens.
And that'll it'll continue to happen to where like people that want to join your team or whatever, and they're just not right, and like you gotta feel like it's almost like a empowering thing. Like no,
And
you
I've
know?
said it. I mean, there's been several agents
Yeah.
that have
yeah.
approached me and asked
Just,
about it,
it's
and I just said
important
I'm
for the
not
team
really.
if they don't fit the dynamic of
Like it's a compliment.
yeah.
Like unfortunately I'm not like actively recruiting.
Yeah.
Not anything against you. It's just like I'm trying to create something that is just not
Yeah.
involving a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like once people
Quality
understand
over
that,
quality is not frequent as it should be in real estate in general.
in anything in life.
Yeah, and anything in life. That's the truth. Yeah. Amen, brother.
Yeah. Thanks for asking the question on that. I am super proud of.
Good, man.
of
I'm
the
glad to hear
group.
that.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
Congratulations.
And I
You're doing
would
awesome.
say, as a compliment to you, like we've. Oh, take a sip. But I remember having lunch with you when you wouldn't even share the name of Denovo at the time,
Yeah.
and seeing you. I mean, you've been doing real estate much longer than I have, but like seeing you go out on that like leap of faith is, I think, something inspiring and something that. You, like other agents have looked at and been inspired about, whether
Thanks, man.
they've come and worked with you or it inspired them to leave their brokerage where they're at and start a team with one of the cloud-based brokerages or whatever it may be. Like, I think you are a huge proponent of them. And then I would also say like you have had a inspiration into me wanting to do something similar.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm honored, man. So
Super complimentary.
good
towards
shit,
you.
man. No,
Must be the whiskey.
yeah. Like this is the nicest you ever been to
I
me
know.
ever. Like
Shelby paid me though. She told me to be
slipped
nice.
you a couple hundreds before this thing.
Yeah, she gave me.
No, man, but yeah,
$5,000.
you've grown an incredible amount, and business wise, but also just everything, So should be proud of it.
Yeah. Thank you.